Hey guys, welcome back to Not Your College Life with Lisa Beals. I'm your host, Lisa Beals, and this is episode number 45. This week, I am talking to you about my top 5 books for 2020. The ones that made the biggest impact on my life this year. And what a year. I am Lisa Beals, your host. I am the Midwestern mom / college administrator who's done the college thing myself and put a couple kids through college as well, and realized it is not the same university that I attended as a college student. There's a lot more red tape. There's a lot more bureaucracy. And I am here to bridge that gap for you so you can spend less of your time jumping through hoops and instead focus your time on developing that teenager into a full functioning, self-sufficient adult and achieving your empty nester syndrome at the end as your prize, right? That's what it's all about. Okay, so into this week's episode is my top 5 books. And what I hope for you, I love seeing people share their favorite books, their favorite podcasts. Next week is going to be my favorite podcasts for the year. But I love when other people share because there are hidden gems out there that everybody needs to know about. And, outside of my first one, which I think most people know about, the other books that I'm going to share with you are books that really have been they've spoke to me in a way that has really changed how I think and look at things. And anytime I can get something that challenges how I've always thought about things, that helps me grow into that next better version of myself, I am all about that. You guys, I geek out on self-help stuff, self-improvement. I live every day like my goal every day is to be a better version of myself than I was yesterday, and to leave everyone that has interacted with me feeling better because of it. Not that I'm such an amazing person, but just that little bit of grace and encouragement and you got this, girl. You don't know the difference that could make in someone's life because you don't know what they're carrying with them that day. So my goal with this is to share my top 5, why they were important to me, a few quotes from them, and then I'm going to ask you, share with me yours. What were books that you read this year or even before this year, right? We all have those books that just stick with us, that we read over and over, whether it's for pleasure or self-improvement. I don't care. If you've got something that you talked to a lot of people about after you read it, I want to know it. So I'm going to ask you to share. This is a collaborative, it's a interactive podcast, as much as we can interact on a podcast. Okay, so let's jump in. My top 5. Number 1, it's the Bible. And I know it's not cliche. It is cliche, but I love cliches. I geek out on cliches because they're cliche for a reason. They have stood the test of time and everybody keeps going back to them. So for me, it's always been a goal to read the entire Bible cover to cover. You guys, I'm 51 years old. I have never done it. I have picked it up and put it down. I've learned verses. I've memorized the books of the Bible. I've memorized various verses. But I've never intentionally gone cover to cover. It seemed too daunting to me. And last year, I think it was about this time, I made the decision, I'm just going to see how long it takes. Let's just start. See how long it takes. So I opened it up, and I think I started in 1 Kings last year, and I committed to every day I was going to spend 10 to 15 minutes at least reading in my Bible, and we'll see where it got me. There were some days that I missed it. Stuff happened, right? I overslept. I had to go into work early. I had to watch my grandsons. Variety of reasons where I didn't get it done. But I think I still hit my 80-20 rule, right? You shoot for 100, but you be content with 80%. So, you guys, I read it in a year. I read cover to cover in a year. I think I'm wrapping up my last book. Yeah, last book this month, and I should have it done. So, hidden lesson in this top 5. I don't care how big the task ahead of you looks. If you don't do anything a year from now, you're still going to be a year from now. But imagine if you had started something and where you would be if you just take one step. As often as you remember, as often as you can, just take that one next step and see what you can accomplish. Little hidden gem there for you. Okay, so let me share some of my favorite verses that I was reminded of as I was reading through the Bible. This one, I think a lot of people know this one. Joshua 1, verse 9. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. I think you could hear that again because it's 2020 and it's been a ride, you guys. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Okay, let that one sink in. Deuteronomy 4, verse 29. This one was really, it spoke to my soul. And if you search for him with all your heart and soul, you will find him. That's always been reassuring to me, because there is so much in this life that we can't do on our own, even with friends and family. And I don't know if you're a believer. I am. I'm going to be fully transparent. I am. I may lose some people. I may not. But you do you. I'm going to do me. I'm committed. I can't get through this life without knowing that there's a higher power in my God that is helping me get through it. And if you listened to a couple episodes ago where I shared with you about the loss of my son, and I didn't even get to the part where we lost him. It was just, I had reached the end of what I like to keep my podcasts in. I was just spent and I couldn't do any more. So all that to say, I've lost a child at a young age, and I could not have gotten through that without the support and guidance of my Maker. Okay, next verse. Proverbs 4, verse 7. Getting wisdom is the most important thing you can do. And whatever else you do, get good judgment. That's a good one. So here's another Proverbs. Worry weighs a person down. An encouraging word cheers a person up. Y'all, that's what I strive to do. My family, my immediate family, they are the worriers. And my job is to encourage and lift you up. I am the Pollyanna rose-colored glass billboard. That's me. Glass half full. I got my rose-colored glasses on. I am the Pollyanna of Pollyannas. I am the encouraging word. A couple more. Ecclesiastes 1, verse 9. History merely repeats itself. It's all been done before. Nothing under the sun is truly new. That was profound to me. And I thought, I don't know, Mark Twain or somebody wrote that. That was the Bible. It's all been done before. Nothing under the sun is truly new. How about that? Another one in Ecclesiastes 11, verse 4. If you wait for perfect conditions, you'll never get anything done. This has turned into my mantra for this year because if you've been following me for any time, you know this girl right here, I have been talking about creating a course for academic recovery, for moms to help their kids identify what brought them there, appeal to the university to clean that record up, and then action steps to move forward towards success. I have been talking about this. This has been in my mind for at least a year. And I have this, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be worthy of people paying money for. And my mantra right now is continue to tell myself, done is better than perfect. Just get it done, Beals. There are people out there that need this course to help their kids recover and move forward. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on done is better than perfect so that I can get something done and I can get it out there in the world and hopefully start making a difference with those that are struggling. And then the last one, this one in Habakkuk was divinely presented to me. I'm telling you, I was at a really dark place fairly early in our journey with my Drew. And I will never forget when I found this verse. I was sitting in the basement of our church on Main Street. It was a Sunday night Bible study. The kids were up in the nursery, and I don't know if it was the minister or one of the elders, was just sharing a message. And I had opened up my Bible, and it fell open to Habakkuk, and my eyes were immediately sent to this verse. And it spoke to my soul, you guys. It was God telling me, I got you, sis. Be patient, be encouraged, but I got you. So here's the verse. Habakkuk 2, verse 3. But these things I plan won't happen right away. Slowly, steadily, surely, the time approaches when the vision will be fulfilled. If it seems slow, wait for it patiently, for it will surely take place. Now at the time, my human brain told me God is going to heal my child. He is going to be the miracle. And that little brain of his that didn't form properly, it was going to somehow magically be squished around and it was going to be made whole. And in essence, he was just working on me and my family and teaching us the things that we needed to be taught to make the difference in the world that we were put on this earth to do. But it's the verse I needed at the time to pick me up out of my dark place and dust myself off and start moving forward again. Who can't use verses like that in their lives, right? Okay, so the Bible is my first top 5 of the year. The next one is called Loving What Is, and it's by Byron Katie. I read this book for the second time this year. I found it the first time, I think it was 2013 or 2014. It was within a year after my Drew died. And Byron Katie, if you haven't checked her out, you need to go listen to her stuff. She's got her voice just makes you feel hugged when you talk to her. And her reading this book really helped me process my feelings of loss and grief and anger and feeling cheated and all of that stuff. And I learned how to process that and start to move forward. She has at least one section in that book where she actually talks to someone who's struggling with death and losing someone that was very close to them. And how your brain likes to play tricks on you with telling you these stories about shoulds and it shouldn't have happened this way and it's not fair and why arguing with reality is insane. Because what does it get you? This is what happened. Whether you agree with it or not, this is where we're at. Now what? What are you going to choose to think about it? So here are a few of my favorite quotes from Byron Katie's book. Anything that's out of my control and your control and everyone else's control, I call that God's business. Bam. God's business. Next one. I realized that I could be right or I could be free. You guys, that one's tough to swallow, isn't it? Dang it, I was right. Tell me I'm right. What does that get me? I'm still hostage to this impasse that I've got with my husband or my coworker. Because dang it, I'm right. Why can't they just admit it? Who cares? Who cares? I can wait and hold my ground and just tell everybody I'm right, or I could just let it be and be free. Her other one, your way of mentally arguing with what is. It doesn't do you any good, and it doesn't change anything. Its only effect is to cause you stress. Did you hear it? Let me say it again. Let me say that again. Your way of mentally arguing with what is, so that your reality, doesn't do you any good. It doesn't change your reality. Its only effect is to cause you stress. And the last gem I pulled from her. Nothing outside of you can ever give you what you're looking for. I preached this one to my Maddie many times. You do not look for happy in someone else. Someone else cannot make you happy. Only you can make you happy. Only you can make you happy. And how ridiculous is it of us to think that if I can't even figure out how to be happy in me, how do I expect someone else who doesn't know every thought and feeling I have to make me happy? That doesn't even make sense. It's crazy, isn't it? Anyway, loved her stuff. She's got several books out there. Okay, the next one, The Art of War. And I think I talked about this on a podcast before. Maybe I did a Facebook Live. I got this book from Marie Forleo. It's a really quick read. But Stephen helped me realize my thing. The thing that I get up every day and I'm impassioned to share with others. It reminds me what resistance looks and feels like and how to talk myself through it. These lessons in this book can apply to both you and your student. Now, I say it reminds me and helps me to talk through it, but it doesn't mean I'm not a pro. I still struggle. You can get this book on Amazon for less than $5 in a paperback. And I'm telling you, it's a read and reread. When you feel that gray coming into your skies, pick it up, give it a read. It'll motivate you. So here are some of the quotes from Stephen's book. Many of us have two lives, the life we live and the unlived life within us. Between those two stands resistance. Who is not living their unlived life within them? If nothing else, hear this. I'm encouraging you to find that unlived life within you. That thing, that little voice in the back of your head that keeps telling you, wouldn't it be great if I could? Do it. You only get one chance at this life. Do it. If your student, your kiddo is telling you, I would really love to be able to do X, Y, and Z, it sounds ridiculous to your mom brain. Don't voice that. Why would you get in the way? No matter how ridiculous it sounds, how do you know they're not going to be able to figure that out? Encourage them. See what the possibilities are. Here's another good one. Resistance is the most toxic force on the planet. Resistance has no strength of its own. Every juice it possesses comes from us. We feed it with power by our fear of it. And the last one from Stephen is, its target, that's referring to resistance again, its target is the epicenter of our being, our genius, our soul, the unique and priceless gift we were put on this earth to give and that no one else has but us. That's what resistance is after. Keeping you beat down from doing your thing that God put you on this earth to do. Do it. Go do it. Okay, then Big Magic with Elizabeth Gilbert. Now, politics aside, she and I will not always see eye to eye in politics, but her book, Big Magic, had some really great nuggets in it. And reading this just was another, yes, my child, this is what I want you to do. As I was reading it, it was just God telling me as I was reading that book that this work that I'm doing is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be helping other moms with this college journey for their kids. That's just, I just know that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I read it in paperback version, and then I think I've listened to it a couple times on audio. I have the public library app on my phone, and so I can do a lot of audio books for free on that. So if you haven't checked that out, you should. So here are some good quotes from Elizabeth Gilbert. Be the weirdo who dares to enjoy. I love that one. Here's another familiar one. Done is better than good. Or could I rephrase that? Done is better than perfect. It seems to me that the less I fight my fear, the less it fights back. If I can relax, fear relaxes too. That is very true. Perfectionism is just fear in fancy shoes and a mink coat. We all spend our 20s and 30s trying so hard to be perfect because we're so worried about what other people will think of us. Then we get into our 40s and 50s and we finally start to be free because we decide that we don't give a damn about what anybody else thinks of us. But you won't be completely free until you reach your 60s and 70s, when you finally realize this liberating truth. No one was even thinking about you anyway. That's a good one. All right, book number 5. Oh, spoiler alert. I couldn't just pick 5, so you've got more than 5 here. So hang in there with me. Story Brand by Stephen Miller. This one, man, he's a good storyteller. Hence, this is his business. This one helped me understand how to talk to others, both in my university work and in this podcast. And it helped me realize that stories help people understand concepts and help people feel connected. And isn't that what we're all looking for, is a connection? I listened to Donald's book, I think twice this year and twice last year. Listen to it. I probably would like to get the paperback version so I can, jot down some notes as I review it again. But this one was a listen. It was a great, y'all, before COVID, I spent 2 hours a day alone in my car. So I got a lot of podcast and book time on the audio version in a 10-year commute. Just saying. All right, so here are a few quotes from Donald. Story helps because it is a sense-making mechanism. Essentially, story formulas put everything in order so the brain doesn't have to work to understand what's going on, right? The story just frames it for your brain, so your brain doesn't have to spend that energy organizing things. The story has it organized. Simply put, we must show people the cost of not doing business with us. I think that's really good. Nancy is a great friend. We highly recommend Nancy and her team. Those are nice words. They do very little in telling a story of transformation. I wouldn't hire Nancy. You give me a story, for instance, of why she's so amazing. Identifying our customers' problems depends on their interest in the story we're telling. Okay, that was 5. You ready? I only have 2 more. It's not forever. Okay, number 6, free to focus with Michael Hyatt. I told you guys, I am a self-improvement geek. That's just who I am. It's just who I am. So this one was an audio listen for me. I listened to it twice, and I'll probably go once more yet this year and give it another listen. And I want to get the paperback version of this. This one has some really great ways on how to manage your time, tasks, and to-dos in order to become more productive and really take ownership of your life and what you want to do. A couple quotes from Michael. Disappointing some people in life is inevitable, so make sure you're not disappointing the ones that matter the most. So who matters the most? Is it your coworker, or is it your kids, or your spouse? Just leave that there. Productivity is not about getting more things done. It's about getting the right things done. So my coach, Brooke Castillo, she has said, she has a quote that I've really spoke to me. Are you productive or are you busy? And they're not the same thing. So this last, 4 to 6 months, I have shifted from a busy mindset to really focusing on productivity. Because I want to get stuff out there. I want to get stuff out there to you to help your kiddo move forward. And so you can just enjoy the college experience, raising a college age kid. That's what I want you to spend time on. Not the bureaucracy, not the office, not the phone tag with this office and that office. That's the stuff I want to do. All right, here's the last one. I just found this one from Kristen Hadid maybe a month ago, you guys. If anybody works in a corporate environment, this one will blow your mind. And I need to investigate the reality of this because this just seems too good to be true. This is a book by Jason Fried, I don't know how you say it, Fried, and it's called It Doesn't Have to Be Crazy at Work. So thank you, Kristen, for that share. And again, this one was free on my library app. So I've been listening to this for free. It spoke to my soul, you guys, this year of COVID at work and the immense level of changes upon changes upon changes that we've had to implement at work for 40,000+ students on a dime. This one spoke to me. I may be applying for a job at Basecamp. Just saying. Okay, so I've got a few quotes. They're not really short, but you got to hear them. A great work ethic isn't about working whenever you're called upon. It's about doing what you say you're going to do, putting in a fair day's work, respecting the work, respecting the customer, respecting the coworkers, not wasting time, not creating unnecessary work for other people, and not being a bottleneck. Work ethic is about being a fundamentally good person that others can count on and enjoy working with. Sustained exhaustion is not a badge of honor. It's a mark of stupidity. I may have shared this one with my boss. Just saying. Sustained exhaustion is not a badge of honor. It's a mark of stupidity. Yeah, that was a gem. Walk into a library anywhere in the world and you'll notice the same thing. It's calm and quiet. Everyone knows how to behave in a library. In fact, few things transcend cultures like library behavior. It's a place where people go to read, think, study, focus, and work. And the hushed, respectful environment reflects that. Hang on to this one. You ready? This is the last part of that quote. Isn't that what an office should be? Dang. My office does not resemble that. Not at the university. I wish it did, because man, couldn't I get stuff done. All right, here's another good one. Everyone wants to be heard and respected. It usually doesn't cost much either. And it doesn't really matter all that much whether you ultimately think you're right or they're wrong. Arguing with heated feelings will just increase the burn. This one goes back to Byron Katie's. Do you want to be right or do you want to be free? It is not uncommon for people to pick up their phones dozens of times a day when push notifications makes it buzz. Because what if it was something super important? But it just about never is. JOMO. So this is Base Camps. I love this. Joy of missing out. You'll have to read it to get more information on that because you guys, that's a gem. That is a gem. JOMO. I told my boss JOMO is my new jam. You'll just have to figure it out. It's a good one. Okay, if you spend 20% each on getting 5 things to 80%, then you've done 5 things. I'm going to say it again. If you spend 20% each on getting 5 different things to just 80%, then you've done 5 things instead of 1 at 100%. And 80%, didn't I share? That's my goal. Live an 80% life. And you can have your own perspective on, live to the fullest. 100% is hard to achieve. Just saying. All right, here's the last gem. What doesn't get done in 40 hours by Friday at 5 p.m. picks up again on Monday at 9. I will tell you, I have been doing, for the most part, my 80%, I've been doing a great job at that since COVID. It didn't serve me well to work the relentless hours. So there you have it, you guys. My top 7 books for 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I can't wait. Go on to social. Go find me on Facebook or Instagram. I'm at Not Your College Life with Lisa Beals, and share with me your books that affected you this year. And you get bonus points. Share with me what you plan to read for 2021. Because Lord help us, 2021 is going to be a better year than 2020. Right? Okay, friends. Till next week. Take care.